previously on Maniac Mike Wrestling Cop. Just to remind you of what brought us to this point, and how Maniac Mike ended up in this jam.
While everybody in East Providence were getting ready for New Year's, Maniac Mike and the gang were rescuing the city from cancel culture.
Hi, it is me, Silas Cord. My life has not been one that resembles a Hallmark movie. Staying back in school, detention, getting expelled, joining a gang, stealing, vandalism, bullying. Then there was the detention center. I got my high school diploma in jail. I had the time to finish school in there. I got fired from crappy job to crappy job. Then came the drugs. It only made things worse after that. One night when I needed drug money, I snuck into my cousin's home. I figured since we were not close it was fine. But I messed up. I accidentally caused a fire. I escaped, but my cousin, his wife, and my grandparents who were visiting, they all died. I slowly lost my mind after that. I did walk away with more than $5,000. But still, my cousin was Anton Silas, his wife April, and my grandparents Anson and Claire. The guilt drove me insane. My parents, Marshall and Edna, had no use for me at all. I was on my own from then on. They simply gave up on me. I became a wrestling fan. I also developed a taste for good food and nice clothes. I just didn't have the money for it. So I killed people for money. If there was a woman I had a crush on and she had a boyfriend, well, I would murder him and take away his funds. There was this one girl in particular. Her name was Natasha. Oh, Natasha Moretti. She didn't look at me romantically. I murdered 6 of her boyfriends and took their money. I comforted her. Yep, I would murder them and take away their funds. Natasha never fell in love with me. So one day I raped her, and kidnapped her, and took away all of her money. She just turned out to hate me. I killed her as she tried to escape. I'm slime. I know.
You're not canceling us. You jerks have messed with the wrong team. We will always defend the red, white, and blue. The stars and stripes.
Stitere. On the roof. They are still fighting on the roof. This is dangerous. We have to arrest cancel culture now.
So from that point on, my career as a serial killer only grew, and along the way I became a huge fan of Dark Predator. I am not sure what has happened to me. Maybe it was Christmas, maybe it was Maniac Mike zapping me with the power of the light. I just don't feel the darkness anymore. First I lost 5% of my darkness. Then I broke my ankle and nobody saved me. So then 10% of the darkness was eliminated.
No. Mike. No. Please. Oh no.
No. This cannot be the end. This can't be the end. Still so much left to do. I need to stop them. I don't know how I'm going to get out of this one.
Maybe it also had to do with the visitors from the North Pole, and then from going into the North Pole myself. But then after living at the North Pole for over a year and a half, I knew I had to return and face the music. I now have to serve a 500-year sentence straight out. 8 months into my sentence, something scary happened to me. Guards came into my cell and placed a black mask over my head. I couldn't see. I was taken into this room. There was a government official standing there. He looked me over. He wanted to make a deal. I would go on suicide missions in exchange for time subtracted on my sentence. Dark Predator had been banished back into his own dimension, and there's no way of him ever returning. I accepted, and a microchip was deeply implanted into my arm. I was sent to California to help stop their chapter of cancel culture. I went to every city and town in California.
My people, you're all correct on all counts. Silas will find his way back to us, and this musclehead sure is stupid. Living within laws is so stupid. I would never agree to that crap. After we get comfortable we will visit that professor.
Flynn and Kiki were serving time. Not as extreme as me. My mission ended when I took a bullet to my left foot. I recovered for 5 months and then I was sent to Nevada for another mission. I was stabbed during that one. After recovering I went to Oregon, the state of Washington, where I got 20 stitches. Idaho, Utah. Danger was everywhere.
Don't you dare. Never mention him again. Ever. You have no right. You don't deserve to mention him. Ever. Understand? Do you understand? I'm supposed to believe you have changed? Ha. If you want me to believe you for even 0.5%, then you tell me the truth. You tell me where your family is. Also, what have they done so far? I'm listening.
You're not canceling us. You jerks have messed with the wrong team. We will always defend the red, white, and blue. The stars and—
Don't you understand? We need change. Everything we know must be cancelled.
After Arizona it was Montana. I stopped the bad guy but was severely injured. I was in a coma for 6 months. After 4 months of rehab I was sent back to my cell to heal. I started reading the Bible. 50 years was removed from my sentence for omissions. An additional 10 was taken off for obeying and listening. Then I was asked if I wanted to go deep undercover to stop a drug business. I said yes. It was off to Wyoming. These were dangerous people. I was terrified. Very, very much. They were stopped in Colorado but I almost died there. I already had 60 years taken off, now 80 years were subtracted. I was injured for a long time. My body hurt. I ached all over.
Behind bars. I hold them all responsible for what happened to my Maniac Mike. This might not be a pay-per-view encounter, but it will feel like one. I know you're ready, Ripcord. Jack Frost is in the game. Surprisingly, the information Silas gave me was all true.
I am so close to winning. Yes, ha, yes, everything is all in place. I cannot be stopped. I am the last man standing. The good guys lose. It ends. The bracelet is mine, and still the new year is upon us. Excellent. I will be king. Perhaps I will go 20 years into the past. Maybe 30 years. I can do anything. I can fix time and play in the first Super Bowl. Aw heck, I could even own the NFL, ha 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 ha. Woo yeah, and the best part is that Maniac Mike is finished. Done. It's my triumph. Yup, ha.
Approaching the Maniac again, because you and your band of idiots will be going to prison.
I cannot believe I lost to you. I've been on the streets for years, Chloe, while you've been in offices doing paper.
I have revenge. Nobody messes with Dark Predator. East Providence, I will continue to crush you. There isn't anybody else. There is not a hero around who can stop me. Nobody. I win. I won. I cannot be stopped.
I'm glad we're officially into New Year's Eve now. I need a clean slate and fast. I want to make amends. I need peace.
It's time to put you down, Dark Predator. You're going to pay for what you did to Maniac Mike. When you get sent to prison, you slime, along with your cancel culture cohorts, I'll make sure the other prisoners know that you got beat up and captured by a woman. You'll get along really well with your fellow prisoners then, you big jerk. Evil people like you make me sick.
It was in prison while I was healing that I heard the rumors concerning Maniac Mike. I was missing East Providence. At this point I had seen every episode and every season of Highway to Heaven. Now I am starting up on 7th Heaven. So far I've watched the episodes Anything You Want, Family Secrets, In the Blink of an Eye, No Funerals and a Wedding, The Color of God, Halloween, Saturday, What Will People Say? See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, The Last Call for Aunt Julie, Now You See Me, with a little help from my friends, America's Most Wanted, 7 is Enough, Happy's Valentine, and Brave New World. I'm ready for more.
No, no, no. 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 It is not possible. And how is he able to fly? No, no, no. 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 Blast you, Maniac Mike, and your meddling girlfriend. Blast it.
This is a miracle. This is great. You don't know just how happy I am to see you, my Maniac Mike. It's time to take care of business.
Well, well, well. Well, we are now a good 7 hours and 20 minutes into New Year's Eve. I'm sure glad I haven't missed the party, but I see Dark Predator forgot to send me an invitation. Wow, not cool. Well, Chloe, glad to see you again. Even though it wasn't that long, uh, sorry for worrying you. But at least now, once and for all, we can stop him and his minions once and for all.
No, wait. Maniac Mike, there is something you do not know. Hold on. Just hold on. Please. Oh no. Oh no, the time portal is opening. But how? Why? This is not good. How was it activated? It's pulling you in like a magnet. Fight it. Please.
I can't stop it. I can't stop it. Uh, Please, Chloe, you're gonna have to let me go. Don't hold on. You don't have a time bracelet on. We don't know what will happen to somebody in this portal traveling through time if they don't have a bracelet on them. I can't take that chance with you, but I will promise this. I will find my way back. I have to. I need to. And I'm sorry. I shouldn't have put the bracelet on without knowing all the facts. I'll find my way back. I will.
Wait a minute. He went time traveling. This means even if he's away for hours, he could simply just return to me at this point in time. All I have to do is wait a minute or two.
And just please win.
Okay, I am Maniac Mike, a wrestling cop. I'm in this time portal, but I don't feel claustrophobic due to the healing dust. Plus, I now know that due to the healing dust, I have the power of light at all times now. I have been viewing all that has led up to this point, even the events that I have not seen with my own eyes, which is weird for me. Why was the bracelet activated? How did that happen? As I sail through this portal, I am able to see just about everything. There are images. I see Christopher Columbus. I see various scenes from his past, his history. From another time, I see parts of history altogether as I float around inside of this portal. And I just don't know where I might land, but I know by time traveling, and I do, then whether it's um, forward or backwards, I'll be landing in that exact spot from which I left. Uh, I'll be honest, I am not comfortable going back in time um, because that's what cancel culture intended to do. They wanted to destroy time, and you go to the past. It's the truth that if you change one thing, you change everything. It may be hard for some people to understand, but you just never know how one little thing can change um, what happens to people in the world just by changing it. Well, I'll see where I end up. And just hope there isn't a problem and that I can just arrive back into my own time period right away. I know one thing is certain, uh, Chloe is a real mess, not knowing what's happening to me and if I'll ever be able to return. I must get back to her right away as soon as possible. lab was gone, I should have landed right there because I went time traveling while inside of the lab, so I should have ended up in the same location. I wonder what happened to the lab. I know that that property has been around a while. Even if I went back, at the very least, I should have um, went to whatever it was before, like when there was a store, but just completely gone. Nothing, no foundation, not any trace that there was a building over there. Plus, everywhere I go, it looks like a war broke out on these streets. There's damage everywhere, and uh, newspaper flying. But it's a Boston paper. Like, why isn't there ever a Rhode Island one? Oh my. According to this date, it's been 10 years, 10 years into the future, judging by the damage done over here. Perhaps it was just easier for somebody to get this Boston paper from Seacon, Massachusetts. Instead, I gotta go to my old detective agency, hoping that the key still works. Uh, First thing I gotta do is get some rest, as I'm extremely exhausted, and I'm not gonna be any good to anybody if I'm tired. So that's gotta be number one on my list. Ripcord, it's you. Oh, finally. Man, I'm glad to see you. Uh, I have a lot of questions for you. Likewise, I know you have a lot of questions for me, but it is me, Maniac Mike. Uh, I've traveled 10 years from the past, uh, and here I am in the future, and everything has gone downhill. I can't believe it. I can't find any people. All I know is that a new version of, cancel culture is in control and has completely taken over and destroyed East Providence. But I don't understand how they got so powerful or so fast and was able to take over the city so easily. And I don't even know how I wound up 10 years into the future. Oh, man. Uh, well, I'll let you speak. You obviously know more about what happened than what I did. But yeah, I've been going crazy.
Imagine how Maniac Mike feels. Going forward 10 years into time and seeing your home city upside down and taken over by cancel culture. You see everybody, by going a decade in the future, there was no Maniac Mike during those 10 years. When you go forward in time you cannot see your future self. What if you got stuck in the future? You and your future self cannot exist in the future due to you having left the past. So for 10 years Maniac Mike was not around to help out his band of patriots. Even though Dark Predator is trapped and sealed in his own dimension and Silas Cord is now reformed, still, there were always others. How does Maniac Mike fix this? He does not know how to use the time bracelet yet.
This is the East Providence Patriots Underground. If anybody is listening, it was 10 years ago today the seeds were planted for the takeover by cancel culture. We know the story. Dark Predator was banished and Maniac Mike simply disappeared. A new leader named Dax Devlin took over. Days after Maniac Mike disappeared, Dax Devlin showed up and quickly put together an army to take over the great city of East Providence. EP Patriots challenged them on the streets, backed up by the EP police, then later US Army recruits. If anybody remembers, it was over a couple of years before the cancel culture goons took over the city. Cancel culture still holds our city hostage. We are all stuck here. We are held prisoners. The once great science laboratory was destroyed by them when doctors and professors refused to work for them. Unfortunately, the heroes of East Providence is a short number. Cancel culture on the other hand has loads of indoctrinated people on the squad. Dax's number one man is Mark's Penn, who is just as crazy as Dax. Help from Providence, Barrington, Pawtucket, and Cranston were each stopped by cancel culture from helping out EP. Culture still holds our city hostage. We are all stuck here. We are held prisoners. The once great science laboratory was destroyed by them when doctors and professors refused to work for them. Unfortunately, the heroes of East Providence is a short number. Cancel culture on the other hand has loads of indoctrinated people on the squad. Dax's number one man is Mark's Penn, who is just as crazy as Dax. Help from Providence, Barrington, Pawtucket, and Cranston were each stopped by cancel culture from helping out EP.
Listening? Are you there? Is it safe to go outside? Somebody was spotted wandering around earlier. A stranger. Not one of ours and not one of theirs. Huh? Ah, good. You're on. Yes. Okay, so you don't know where he came from either? Is it Safe. 2. Go. Out. 4. Food. And supplies? Yes, yes. Please check. I'm on line feed 5454389. Thank you and stay safe. Anybody else out there? I'm on line feed 5454389. An unknown person, male, was seen walking around whatever is left of our city, East Providence. Yes, yes. Aha. Are you there? Please check and be careful.
Maniac Mike, my friend, my mentor. Good to see you. We have a lot to talk about. Amazing. You traveled forward in time by 10 years. Without you here we were at a complete disadvantage. Now that you're back we have an advantage. Let me fill you in on things. You already know that our hideout bunker is underneath your office. It took us months to build and months to complete and install everything.
Maniac Mike. It's my Maniac Mike. I don't believe it. You have no idea how much I've missed you. When our spy told me I needed to see for myself. Please, don't speak yet. Just listen, my dear Double M. It's only been 5.5 hours and change for you, but it's been a decade for me. Oh, how I've missed you. Now you can learn how to use the time bracelet, my dear Maniac. They overtook us without you around. It was awful, and these have been dark days. I just don't believe it. Oh, you have no idea how much I've missed you. Please, I know you want to tell me things, but wait a minute, don't speak yet. Oh, how I've missed you. Now I can help you guide the time bracelet. Now you can and will learn, yes. Learn just how to use the time bracelet, my dear Maniac. Like I said, they overtook us without you around. I'm not certain what you've heard, Mike, my Mike, but Silas Cord has reformed and is now on our side. Please don't look so upset. He worked hard to gain our trust and his evil and darkness is gone. Completely. Honest. Please, you don't have to put your trust in Silas, but please believe and trust me. Professor Benson can teach you to use the time bracelet. They wrecked his lab of course, but, that day. Did you think 10 or decade or something? Or maybe the current year itself?
Feel.
Yes, of course, Chloe. You're right, and I do believe you. I do trust you. After all, what seems like 5 hours and 45 minutes or so, to me, as you said, has been 10 years for everybody else, an entire decade. As I come to learn, anything is possible, including uh, the reformation of Silas Cord. I guess some people can be rehabilitated, and I have missed you as well, even though it's been 5 hours, 40 something minutes. To me, answer your question, my Chloe, I did indeed wonder how life would be like uh, for us in East Providence 10 years from now, and that thought in my head was strong, vivid enough. That must explain why the time bracelet activated. I think what you and Professor Benson have to tell me is that if I think of a date strongly enough, then I'll end up over there, but in the same location at the same time. Let's say if I travel in time 3:18 p.m. and when I go to say April 24, 1952, then it'll still be 3:18 p.m. in East Providence. When I get to 1952 as well. But the thing is, I've been wanting to go back to the year that I belonged for all the time I've been here, and it hasn't worked. Why hasn't it worked? If I go back now, then maybe, just maybe, I can stop cancel culture from doing this to the city of East Providence, and I don't know why I can't reactivate the time bracelet to take me home. I just wanted to bring me home.
Fellow cancel culture members have seen him. Eyewitnesses gave a description and I conclude that he is back. Maniac Mike will find out that I, Roland Marks, am not one to be trifled with. Oh, but still, I wonder, where has the wrestling cop been all this time? 10 years and our people say he looks exactly the same. There is no way in or out of this East Providence.
Oh, Leader Marks, worry not. You promised your followers that they'd never ever have to work again, and you kept that word. You have held cooks of all nature prisoners so they would make pizza, tacos, burgers, and so much more. Products come down by parachute, otherwise you kill a person. I am content to just be your magic good luck charm, Devlin Penn. But you, oh, haha, you came here as Roland Marks, became Mr. Roland Marks, to Leader Roland Marks, to Archon Roland Marks, then it was Autocrat Roland Marks, then it was Don Roland Marks, and Gentry Roland Marks, Or then you promoted yourself to Sir Roland Marks and then to Baron Roland Marks. And now you have been promoted by yourself again to Landman Roland Marks. Incredible.
Other.
Devlin, Pennsylvania, but you know I deserve it, haha. And yes, everything just seems to fall into place with you around. You are a strong ally, Devlin. Maniac Mike will be no match for me. These are my people, not his. Any house the people want is theirs. Money is not needed. No need to have a job. Maniac Mike cannot compete with that. We have occupied his precious city. He has to just deal with it.
Captive.
And we still owe you lots of thank you so much for breaking us out of prison. We love being a part of cancel culture. Roland Marks and Devlin Penn, you guys are totally rad, way cool. I am very disappointed in my brother, Silas. Our older brother. Maniac Mike cannot compete with any of this. Oh yes, his precious city is gone. Ha ha.
Silas is soft now. That's why in our fight I was able to take his eye with one swing of my blade. I still want another crack at Chloe Slater. There's a score to settle. In our third fight she again got the better of me. And the fourth. I don't get it. I am the street girl. Not her. Oh, I'm glad he's back. Maniac Mike will be no match for me and my charm and beauty or anything else about me.
Every battle we have had, those patriots have had to bury members who needs help. Not us. My dear Kiki, just for you, instead of executing Maniac Mike, you can just go ahead and keep him as a pet, prisoner, slave or whatever you want to do. The more humiliated he gets, the better. And then you can have your revenge against Chloe who actually bested you on 6 occasions. It will be a wrestling match inside of a steel cage with a top on it and barbed wire on the bars. Your brother Flynn will referee it. The match can only win by pin, submission, surrender, or knockout. Haha. It will be historical. Yes. Yes. We need to bring Maniac Mike the wrestling cop out into the open. If that do-gooder MKUY thinks he will challenge me, boy, he will regret it. The side of good has lost. Defeated, along with Mike, his friends will also suffer. Victory is ours. No, I'm not upset at the return of Maniac Mike. Just bring it on.
I'm not upset at the return of Maniac Mike, never. Agreed. Bring it on. The side of good has already lost. 10 years ago. Oh, yes. Yes. Once we need to bring Maniac Mike the wrestling cop out into the open. It is game over. Those patriots will have to bury even members. Kiki, vengeance is what you'll have. Maniac Mike will be captured. And Kiki, oh Kiki, you will own him. A prisoner he will be. Oh, he will get humiliated, haha. Cancel culture gets the better of them. And yet they still fight. The fools. And I love that idea of the wrestling match, yes, steel cage. A lid on top of it. Yes, yes. Oh, and the barbed wire on the bars. Wow. I like that. Haha. You go Kiki. Get Chloe. A lot of us guys in cancel culture would like to get her. Haha, right? Yeah.
Oh yes. Sign me up for that match. We should also have weapons inside of the ring. In a corner have 4 steel folding chairs, 2 baseball bats, 4 tables, some chains, brass knucks, a ladder, hockey sticks, shovels, sticks, a bowling ball, a soccer ball, a tennis ball, a tennis racket, trash cans. Oh wow. So hardcore, yes. Extreme.
Reason.
We need to get the announcer to announce the match so for the goody 2 shoes can hear it. Oh, this will be a wild match. Yes, this is the good life. Mikey going down and will lose his freedom. Let's glue those fools in. Mikey will watch his woman be dismantled before his very eyes. Kiki, once you own him, find a way to get his time bracelet. Our dear leader will use it to shape this world to suit us. I'm excited.
Wow, we're gonna have it all. Free everything, no jobs, no working, nothing but fun. And now I will have that hunk of a man, Maniac Mike. Wow, and I will finally have my revenge against Chloe Slater. Yes-a-ree, ha-ha.
The door.
Well, there's only one thing to do about this challenge. Chloe, I will take your place against Kiki in the steel cage match. Uh, it's the least I could do. Uh, I mean, it's my fault. I wasn't here for these 10 years to help matters out, traveling into time, and I applied the time bracelet on without even knowing what would happen once I got it on. See, I don't blame Professor Benson for what happened. His intentions were good to, like, as far as inventing the time bracelet. Um, he never had the intent to travel back in time where you can change one thing and everything gets changed. Uh, but besides all that, I know that I was taking the number 10 and I try to think about going back to the original time where I left. I can't even do that. I, I don't know why it won't work. Maybe a part of me doesn't want to go back to that particular time, to the time that I belong in for some reason. Um, I don't know why. Maybe it's to help everybody here, even though I could easily help everybody by going back to my regular time 10 years back and find a way to prevent this from ever happening. And honestly, I've been trying to do that, but maybe I'm just not doing something right. I don't know. Out of all my missions, this has been the toughest one. So that's why I need to take your place in the cage match with all the weapons.
Maniac Mike, we have to talk some more. First of all, I am having that match with Kiki. Case closed. Now, I need to tell you something important. Very important. The reason why we are still functioning against the huge cancel culture group is because Professor Benson thinks ahead. He feared that there would be a time where East Providence would not have Maniac Mike the wrestling cop anymore, so he went to work. Now, none of us agree with cloning and clones, right? We know it's wrong. By definition, cloning is the process of producing individuals with identical or virtually identical DNA, either naturally or artificially. In nature, many organisms produce clones through asexual reproduction. Cloning in biotechnology refers to the process of creating clones of organisms or copies of cells or DNA fragments, molecular cloning. But Dr. Benson has a high IQ, higher than most. Molecular cloning refers to the process of making multiple molecules. Cloning is commonly used to amplify DNA fragments containing whole genes, but it can also be used to amplify any DNA sequence such as promoters, non-coding sequences and randomly fragmented DNA. It is used in a wide array of biological experiments and practical applications ranging from genetic fingerprinting to large-scale protein production. Occasionally, the term cloning is misleadingly used to refer to the identification of the chromosomal location of a gene associated with a particular phenotype of interest, such as in positional cloning. In practice, localization of the gene to a chromosome or genomic region does not necessarily enable one to isolate or amplify the relevant genomic sequence. To amplify any DNA sequence in a living organism, that sequence must be linked to an origin of replication, which is a sequence of DNA capable of directing the propagation of itself and any linked sequence. However, a number of other features are needed, and a variety of specialized cloning vectors, small piece of DNA into which a foreign DNA fragment can be inserted, exist that allow protein production, affinity tagging, single-stranded RNA or DNA production and a host of other molecular biology tools. It wasn't hard for Professor Benson to collect your DNA. It was all over EP. Blood, hair, shirts you ditched after fights. Saliva, don't ask. After the takeover he went to your primary care and swiped your blood work. Cloning of any DNA fragment essentially involves 4 steps: fragmentation, breaking apart a strand of DNA, ligation, gluing together pieces of DNA in a desired sequence, transfection, inserting the newly formed pieces of DNA into cell screening/selection, selecting out the cells that were successfully transfected with the new DNA. I volunteered my, DNA. It would be our child. But I did not carry the hero, a surrogate was used. Mia Martell, who held the women's title for 5 years, won tag belts, and the Rhode Island women's title.
Lights go out and I can't be saved. Tides that I tried to swim against put me down upon my knees. Oh, I beg and plead, singing, come out of things unsaid. Shoot an apple off my head and trouble.
Directing the propagation of itself and any linked sequence. However, a number of other features are needed, and a variety of specialized cloning vectors, small piece of DNA into which a foreign DNA fragment can be inserted, exist that allow protein production, affinity tagging, single-stranded RNA or DNA production and a host of other molecular biology tools. It wasn't hard for Professor Benson to collect your DNA. It was all over EP. Blood, hair, shirts you ditched after fights. Saliva, don't ask. After the takeover he went to your primary care and swiped your blood work. Cloning of any DNA fragment essentially involves 4 steps: fragmentation, breaking apart a strand of DNA, ligation, gluing together pieces of DNA in a desired sequence, transfection, inserting the newly formed pieces of DNA into cell screening/selection, selecting out the cells that were successfully transfected with the new DNA. I volunteered my, DNA. It would be our child. But I did not carry the hero, a surrogate was used. Mia Martell, who held the women's title for 5 years, won tag belts, and the Rhode Island women's title. In the fight with cancel culture, her back was injured and cannot wrestle, could not do what she loves and wanted to help. Ripcord was in love with her and they married after she was injected. The kid is ours, but he also got a little of Mia and Ripcord, which is a good thing. The baby was a boy and well. The next day he grew 6 weeks. The next he aged 8 weeks. Then it was 1 month. Professor Benson was on the case. As he did, he educated me. Hans Spemann, a German embryologist, was awarded a Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 1935 for his discovery of the effect now known as embryonic induction, exercised by various parts of the embryo, that directs the development of groups of cells into particular tissues and organs. In 1924 he and his student, Hilda Mangold, were the first to perform somatic cell nuclear transfer using amphibian embryos, one of the first steps towards cloning. Professor Benson finished his first antidote when our baby, our boy, had become 9 months of age. It didn't work. Oh, and our son's name is Triton, by the way. The first antidote failed. The second one was done by the time Triton aged to 1 year old.
Hey Mom, first off, nice to finally meet you. Dad? Let me continue the story please. Daddy, we have catching up to do. I call myself, Kid Maniac. As you know, I'm Triton. My full name is Triton Slater Elias. Big name to live up to. But, allow me to continue. The antidote I got when I rapidly aged to 1 and 1.5, did not do it, so Professor Benson worked for days and days. Mommy, Uncle Ripcord, Aunt Mia, Crazy Silas, they all believed Professor Benson could do it. So I believed it too. And I was not even scared. So the day came and I'd aged to a whopping 2 years and 8 months of my very unique age process. Professor Benson made an improved antidote. He had also discovered what was up. That brand new antidote will combine with all of the other antidotes and stop the rapid aging process, but it would take about 2 to 3 weeks to kick in. 4 days later I was 2 years and 11 months. 3 days after that I was age 3. I was not worried. The next day another battle broke out with cancel culture. I aged an extra 2 weeks and 4 days, but bigger problems occurred on that day and time.
Apologies lad, but let me jump in here. Ripcord had just proposed to me Martell. She said yes. Norks. Well, he snuck up from behind me and threw an axe into her back. The poor woman perished as Ripcord held her in his arms. Ripcord, days later, beat him half to death. My brother Flynn saved Norks. I jumped on Flynn and we fought and I got the TKO on him. I was going to bring back here to rehab him, but Kiki attacked me. That was the fight where she took my eye from me.
Long story short, 5 months ago I turned 8 the regular way, and I have 5% of your powers. Too bad they didn't have DNA from you with your flying power. I'm coming along to the fight zone when we declare that the challenge is accepted.
That's a deal. Well, son, Triton, the moment I heard of your existence, I already loved you. We have a lot of catching up to do. Um, since then, I'm afraid that I won't be able to return to my previous time that I was in. I probably should prepare myself that this is where my life will continue, and it doesn't seem like such a bad way to live, except for the fact that cancel culture is running everything over here. We have to put a stop to this, and I just can't believe that me and Silas are working together now. That's pretty weird. It's going to be new, but right now we have to concentrate on defeating them, running them out, make this place a democracy again. Well, let's go. Let these people know that we intend to fight and retake our freedom, liberty, and make them read the Constitution. Let's go.
Okay, Kiki, here's what's going to happen instead. I'm replacing Chloe, my best friend Chloe, in your insane steel cage match. Take it or leave it. And I'm not taking no for answer. Actually, we don't have to do this. I do forgive you for taking my eye. I love you and I love Flynn. Let's become a family again. Join the side of good. Please join the side of good. Okay, Kiki, okay. Chloe is my best and me and Mike will not let any harm come to her. I want my siblings back.
Ha 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 ha. Oh boy, you're delusional, that's what you are. Insane steel cage match. Take it or leave it. Just who do you think you are? And I'm not taking no for answer. Who do you think you are? You're supposed to be this good guy now? Sure you are. I can tell your friends here a lot of secrets about you. Perhaps you and Chloe Slater are more than friends. Maybe Maniac Mike should consider that. You want to be a model big brother now? Flynn at least had a good chunk of time with you as a kid before you got put away the first time. He was the middle child and me, the baby of the Cord kids. But then again, you look like a robot, so maybe not even Chloe would choose you after being with a real man like that manly man Maniac Mike. Wow. Maybe Maniac Mike should be mine at last. Silas, you didn't even recognize me, your own sister, after your first prison sentence ended. Sure, Mom and Dad wouldn't allow us to see you, but come on. You still could have kept in touch. Should I tell him how we were reunited that time?
I know I failed you like I did everybody that ever cared about me. I just want to make amends and do good in my life from now on. Please, we can be a family again. You forgiving me and Flynn forgiving me will open the door for more and more family to forgive me. The hate can end and it can begin now.
Should I tell him how we were reunited that time? Should I tell your friends here? Your best friend Chloe, who almost killed you when she shot you in the detective office? Then you have Ripcord. Is he your pal? Ha 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 ha. Oh boy, you're delusional, that's what you are. I suppose Professor Benson is your main man. Have you heard from Jack Frost? Is Maniac Mike buddies with you now? Who do you think you are? You're supposed to be this good guy now? Yeah, so Silas the good guy here was released from prison that first time, and instead of going home or calling people, he went to the mall instead. A lot of secrets about you. So later I heard he went to the food court to have dinner. A taco, cherry cola, a bag of chips, and a donut. Come on. You could have kept in touch. Anyway, he walked around the mall and he went to the comic book shop, and reading a copy of Action Comics number 252, and he got kicked out. Oh, but good old Silas went around looking for girls and at girls. He picked out a young one, still in school. A teen. She kind of somewhat vaguely remembered this creepy guy that was flirting with me. But she kept thinking. And he kept flirting and invading her personal space. It finally occurred to her, but before she could speak he kissed her and then he kissed her again. Silas? She asked. Yes, I am, he responded and kissed her some more. Silas, it's me, she said, feeling scared and bad, her guilt rising, though it wasn't her fault as Silas was throwing his force around. It's me, she kept saying. Still he kept forcing kisses onto her. And then finally she managed to say it's me, it's me. It's me, Kiki.
But I thought you had forgiven me for my mistake and my stupidity, and now you're throwing it back in my face. My mind was mixed up, it was sick. No matter. Friends, do not help me. I'm done holding back against her. Kiki, I'll capture you and rehab you. There will be no cage match for you. Not against Chloe, not with Mike, and not with me. Put Marks and Devlin in there instead. Just remember, this fight is just to save you from yourself.
I'll be finished with you, Silas. I don't care if you hold back or not. Silas, you're too soft now. You can't handle a ruthless and skilled fighter like myself. Oh yeah, you're washed up and I'll be finished with you, on this day for sure. Silas. I don't care, Silas. You let me down back then and now. It's funny how all those years ago you recognized Flynn right away. But not me? Silas, you're too out of it and too soft now. You are so washed up and you can't handle fights like these anymore. You suck, Silas, and I am ruthless. And you're going down. I'm the skilled fighter, not you. You're finished. I'm going to do what nobody else has been able to do to you, Silas. Eliminate you.
I don't have it your way then. Let's fight, really fight. But I won't kill you. But you will get hurt and you will get cut. But, when it's over, you're coming with us. Just remember, I have much more experience with being bad and fighting dirty than you do, person.
Come on. Go get her, Silas. Don't let her beat you again. Kiki is evil, so you have to win. You have to forgive yourself. You're a good guy now. You've been good for 10 years now. Don't let Kiki make a fool out of you again. Win. Come on, Silas. Cancel culture sucks. Pretend that actress that you like, Elisha Cuthbert, is watching you and you want to impress her. Do it, Silas. Get her blacklisted from her gang.
this thing up.
I know I was a horrible big brother. An awful one. Just like I've been a terrible person all around. But I have changed. Oh, pain, so much pain. You've grown into a very skilled fighter, Kiki. I admit that. Day by day you got better and better. Cancel culture thinks you're better than me now. However, there is no substitute for experience. That is just something that I have plenty of. Oh, you cut me. A lot. So much slice and dice. Blood, so much blood. Can't give up. Never. I'm gonna go Highlander on you, Kiki. There can be only one, right? You know, directed by Russell Mulcahy, Connor MacLeod, Christopher Lambert of the Clan MacLeod. Yeah. Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez, Sean Connery. Yup. Yes, The Quickening. Oh ouch. You fight dirty, that's no surprise. The prize. I'll get you. The Kurgan Clancy Brown, that's how I have to be like. I have to hold on. Come on. Highlander 2. The Quickening or Highlander 2 The Quickening. Say no to defeat. Ouch, I need a hospital and a doctor. Or Professor Benson. Crap. Oh, you cut me. A lot. So much slice and dice. Blood, so much blood. My friends. Chloe, Professor, Ripcord, Tridden, Maniac Mike. Thank you for forgiving me. I love you all. Kiki, I yield. You don't have to kill me. You won.